All right, guys, here we're going to talk about the movie, The Hollywood Knights.
Fellas, don't get bummed out. Remember, a friend with weed is a friend indeed.
1980s The Hollywood Knights. Lee, had you seen it before?
Had not seen it, did not know that it existed.
Me either. I saw this one at a thrift shop, and I was like, what do we have here? Tony Danza, Michelle Pfeiffer. Is that a young Fran Drescher? It is.
It is.
And then the person who I wasn't familiar with, well, I'm familiar with them, but not by name.
Arliss.
Yeah, what is it, Robert Wall?
I still don't know. I just know him as Arliss.
I was like, oh, is that Albert Brooks? So I was like,
right? This is a young Albert Brooks in his prime? No.
Well, it's funny you say that. So, like, they're all very young from when we know them, but they're not that young. They're all, like, mid-20s, 30s years old in this, playing 17, 18-year-olds.
I was going to say, everyone feels like a 40-year-old playing a college student. This is like an America movie or something. It's a comedy. I hated this movie.
It's in the vein of, like, Animal House.
Yeah, I hate all that shit. There's nothing good for me. Remember, I'm like, I like interesting things with, like, zombies and robots and magic. Like, this is the most boring,
Hot Rods.
Shitty movie.
You love
I hate
Hot Rod, Lee.
I hate everything about
That's
this
your favorite
movie.
Transformer.
This is probably my least favorite movie of all the movies we've ever watched.
Really?
This was so painful to get through. I kept being like, we're almost done, right? Oh my God. Like, nothing happens. It's the most boring.
I will agree. Nothing happens.
I have stuff to talk about.
There's a lot of issues in the actual filmmaking of this.
Oh, God.
But the cover sucked me in. I was like, what is this? So, like, these people are in a car club or a car club adjacent people, the girls are his girlfriends or what have you, in one night in 1965 that happens to be Halloween. The last day of a drive-in that they all habit is going out of business, and this is what happened, and so on.
Why explain? You already said Animal House. You already said, like, Meatballs. It's like Meatballs 8, the car, like the Meatballs and the Furious. It's like this car version of the same movie that they keep making. It's like supposed to be a comedy. There are things that are almost funny. I hate this movie.
It's a very 80s dated comedy, like
of course.
that is portraying the
like
60s. So if you weren't a fan of like Porky's, this is a worse version of that. So let's talk about it. If you've seen it, I don't care if I'll cover spoilers, and if not, pull out now.
You didn't say if you liked it.
It was all right.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, so here we are for the spoilers of The Hollywood Knights. So, Lee, you didn't like it. Tell me why.
I'm having a stroke. There's nothing good in this movie at all.
Why do you have to be so sarcastic? Can't you give me a little support?
Every now and then I'd be like, this might be good, and then like either nothing would happen or it would happen badly or something.
But Lee, a friend with weed is a friend indeed.
Remember, a friend with weed is a friend indeed.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't know.
I think
this felt like not even a movie is like the larger
I will say yes.
So like,
because the scenes don't string together appropriately.
Yeah, and like you might, so like I like vampires and zombies and robots and like plant monsters that are spreading and so like I like that. So if you give me this, but it's about something, I'm like, well, I don't care that it's not a real movie. I like the thing. I like, oh, this person's discovering their superpowers. Like, okay, that's fine, and it can be shitty, and I don't care. But this was like you have to like, I don't know, like I call it America, but it's like just like, oh, they're like adults playing kids who are doing like things people do. I'm like, that's just life. I have one of those. I don't need to watch another one. That's horrible.
What do you got in your pocket?
Pack of cigarettes.
You're a minor. What are you doing with them?
They're from my mother.
Give them here.
And the things they're doing are just shy of outlandish enough to be like to warrant a movie.
Yeah.
Like, and to know that it's just one day, too much is happening for these characters. And I will say,
maybe that's meant to be the selling point. They're so crazy.
I don't even mean it as like they have a lot going on. I mean physically for their own good. Too much is happening in this movie where it will end with characters in this scene, and then some other scene happens, and then we pick up with the characters that we already saw doing something else somewhere else unrelated to the previous thing, and that's by nature of how this was filmed.
Oh, God, it's got a zipper! Oh, it's in a zipper! Oh, don't touch it! Don't touch it! Let it go down! No.
Which was just like, we're just going to film things, and if they're good, it's getting in the movie, and if they're bad, it gets cut. Plot didn't matter.
It's not the slightest bit concerned with any of those.
No.
spatial reasoning
Yeah.
things. And this is actually a great example of how they've always made shitty movies like this, where it's like, oh, we'll just get funny people and have them like improv maybe, or like kind of like tweak their lines on the fly because they're so funny. We'll just let them do it. And then you're like, that doesn't work. Stop doing that. And really, what happened is they've made these movies all along, but we've forgotten about all these bad ones.
Kiss my ass, all right?
We only remember the good ones.
I was impressed that I'd never heard of this movie.
Because it's bad.
But so yes, I'm gonna say that it is not good. I did enjoy it though.
You love this.
I will go. I will go out on this limb here that you will saw off for me and say that it was okay as a time capsule movie.
Yes,
I really enjoy the
'60s.
'60s. I really enjoy the '60s. I liked the cars.
Because you like the Phantom.
Well, I love the Phantom.
I'm like, he loves old things.
No, the time period itself, very good, and I think they executed that well. While there are some mistakes where I'm like, certain things, like that car didn't exist then, and this and that happened here and there.
Let me like project a little onto you, is like, you like, not the Phantom, what's the other one? The Phantom?
The Rocketeer?
The I'm in the Woods, no, The Shadow, The Phantom, all that crap, The Rocketeer, all those things, because you're like, a man with a gun could still just like kill some Nazis and no one would know. I don't know what you like. But this is almost that, where it's like, oh, you can just like vandalize something and like pull, you like give a cop a wedgie and then run around the corner and he's like, oh, tarnation. And it's just this cute, like, it has the same vibe of like...
It's a different, it's so different.
You could like swag your way through a situation without it being like, we have your DNA, you're in jail. Like some stupid, you can just like
this was the boys will be boys era.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I also enjoy, like, our cops are bungling idiots, obviously, but did you recognize one of them?
Bulk and Skull.
I'm supposed to be riding shotgun. You're supposed to be looking out for me.
Well,
I have no idea.
From the Ernest movies, our
That's the
larger
guy, right?
character is the larger cop here.
There you go.
He's very endearing, and I've never seen him curse before. And I was like, holy shit, he's often saying like jackass and horse shit and stuff. I'm like, wow.
Bring those little assholes get out of line. I'll personally kick the shit out of them.
That's exactly what we don't want, bimbo.
Okay, I think we can make a really funny cut where it cuts from Ernest's face to that guy like saying things off screen.
Your name Elms?
No, Ernest.
Your name ain't Elms?
No, Ernest.
Ernest.
And doing something rather there.
You son of a butt.
I want to tell you buttholes something. This shit is way out of line.
I do think they fell short on a lot of this comedy, but this movie, while I had never heard of it, was really big for a lot of people. Like, the New Bomb Turks is a band that was named after the main character here.
God, is that
like there are sandwiches like named after this guy? Like
New Bomb Turk, you've heard of him?
Oh yeah, I know that guy. Yeah.
This was a big movie for people. This is like a generation's Animal House, and I'm like, what?
New Bomb, whose name we know because they say it so much.
Yeah.
He's Arliss.
You're depraved.
You make it sound like a bad thing.
Yeah.
Whose name I don't know in real life, but you.
Robert Wall, like
Also
W-A-U-L, I think.
You don't know me. You never knew me. You never will know me.
I don't want to hit you. Try it. Why?
I have no idea. But yes, I didn't like Arliss, but I'm like, I know this guy.
Yeah.
And as a comedian, he's one of those, he's not super physical, he's not super rubber-faced, but he's like a generalist where he's doing all these different things. And I thought he was actually, not funny, but like a strong presence in this movie, where I'm like, oh, this is good that they keep going back to this guy. He's capable of doing these things.
You asshole!
I will say for the parts where he was eating shit,
Yeah.
like, oh, he nailed that. I don't
Like
think
physically eating shit.
Well, there's a part where like he prematurely ejaculates before getting to have sex with Fran Drescher.
What do you mean a little? Either you came or you didn't come. Did you come or not? I came. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
And like he's embarrassed. There's a part where his brother's gonna beat his ass and he's hiding.
He's gonna kick your ass, he's looking for you. He's looking for me?
And like I thought like that kind of seems more like who he is than this like,
during
oh,
that,
hey, I'm Van Wilder. Like, he didn't really nail that for me because he's like 40 years old.
You came. I'm glad I came. You know that? I'm glad I came. I really am. I'm glad I came.
No, because, okay, but like that's what I like about that character, is that he's just like, hey, buddy, we're doing this rape thing or whatever the fuck. Remember when he's like in the bathroom? And then I'm like, oh, he's hiding in the bathroom. He's like slapped an out of order sign onto a stall in the ladies' bathroom.
What'd you think about the Rolling Stones last night? They were so dirty, you know?
With like a giant tape recorder to like record something. And I'm like, I wonder if this will come into play later. And then he kicks out the door and is like, hello, ladies, I'm here. And like,
They still had it last week, too.
Hey, that was Brendan and Shirley Weintraub, the Ironbox twins.
why is he admitting that he's there? What is going on? And then I'm like, okay, so I guess that was the joke and it's not going to come into play later. And then it does come into play later when he plays the recording that they know he has over the PA. And they're like, what is going on?
You'd have the football team clap. Yeah, they were playing like it last week, too.
And I'm like, this movie is a mess.
he is like a Zach Morris type character where he can do no wrong, he gets away with everything, only he doesn't feel like he would, and he does feel so out of place. So like, there's many famous faces in this movie,
man, yes.
and they are all like 30 years old.
You know, I can't believe it, man. You know, there's only 4 pledges this year.
Yeah.
Give or take. I think like what's the guy's name? Like Dudley, the nerdy like magician band guy. Yes. He's 33.
Which trick should I do, Mother? They're all so good.
Yeah, well, stick to your music, dear.
Okay.
And he's the oldest character, I believe, in the movie that is supposed to be a 17-year-old.
He's the honor student who's like, Mother, and all that stuff.
I love the voice he does. I think it's hysterical. I don't know, like, is that an impression of somebody else? Like, I know that voice.
But I cannot function without my glasses or my puffer.
And I don't think it's a thing that like that guy does. Like
he's just like an autistic person.
I don't know. I thought it was so funny, and it's like it's so dumb.
And it's a lucky thing that I dropped by because I can feel a wallet and keys in the pocket.
Please.
But it is funny. Him and his mom have some great interactions. When he calls his mom like, "I'm gonna get laid," and she like passes out.
A-I-D, the past participle of the verb to lay. I'm going to screw someone.
Yes.
No, laid, to like copulate with a woman. L-A-I-D.
No, not late, laid. Yeah, no, like there's a comeuppance angle for multiple characters.
He reminds me. Oh, you know who he reminds me of? The guy from The Simpsons. What's that guy's name? Like Artie Lang.
Comic book nerd.
No, not that guy.
He's talking like
there's a much nerdier guy who took Marge to prom. What the fuck is his name? Damn it. I forget his name. Yeah, we'll say it right here.
Pop up video.
Fellow classmates, instead of voting for some athletic hero, you have elected me, your intellectual superior, as your king.
He's played by John Lovitz, I believe. And that is a kind of John Lovitz-y fucking voice.
Yeah, no, it is.
Now that I think about it.
That's like an archetype. That's a thing or whatever.
Now you listen to me. I'm Mephistopheles, Prince of Darkness. When I start harassing you, you'll know it.
And so they like repeatedly, they have to like, and there's a whole thing where he swaps clothes with that guy to go like do the thing instead of him and stuff. And,
that was so weird because the second time he swaps clothes, he's totally he's like, okay, have fun, be careful out there, Newbaum. But like he is wearing, when Newbaum comes up to him, Newbaum is wearing like the tuxedo stuff, right?
Yes. It's me, it's Newbaum, it's okay, everything's copacetic. May I have my puffer? Give me his puffer.
And then takes like his jacket and hat or whatever.
Newbaum, is that you again? Yeah, Dudley, sorry, nothing personal. I understand.
But then the next scene we see that Dudley character, he's now in his underwear. I'm like, why then did they take his clothes? He already had clothes.
I wouldn't swear to that. I have no idea, but he's in his underwear like Benjamin Franklin flying a kite. Like
my puffer.
He's wearing a like.
Wait. Did Benjamin Franklin fly the kite in his underwear?
Yes.
Is that a thing?
No. I'm just picturing like he's wearing like the entire body sock with like the poop drawer. So like it's this insane underwear for human beings to have.
Mm-hmm. I'm perfectly normal. I was walking down the parking lot today, and out of the shadows, something strange happened.
But I want to say that when he swaps clothes into the magician, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see Newbaum do a magician act, and then he does not do a magician act.
My boy.
Yeah, no.
And you're going to defend this by saying, well, they know the jig. He's already, done something, something earlier in the night. Now he has to just hide in the background.
What did he do earlier in the night?
He decided to swap the band leader outfit with Dudley.
Please don't hurt me. I think I'm a bleeder.
To then go on stage and replace what, like whatever the act should be with an act consisting approximately 2/3 of just farting into the microphone.
Now, this is brilliant because there's a setup for this that you may have caught. When he's talking to some girls, a song comes on the radio, which may or may not have been that exact song, and he goes, oh, you should hear me do that one. And they drive away going, no, he's gonna fart.
Have you ever heard my version of that song?
We have to get out of here. He's gonna fart the song.
and they drive away.
Yeah.
So you're like, wait, what is that? And then the callback. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's filmmaking in a movie that has. It's not. I'm not actually saying that's good filmmaking.
I'm not going to attack you. We're having fun now. What like would have been filmmaking is like, are you going to eat your like sauerkraut? Are you going to eat your whatever? And keeps eating beans. You know, like give me more of that for the entire time that I. Oh yeah, like chili. Give me more of that. Like for the entire time.
He's a gastrointestinal genius, though. He doesn't need that. He's
that's
a
what
phenomenon.
I'm saying. Is he can just fart on command.
He's the spleen from Mystery Men.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah, this is Paul Rubens in his prime.
Good pull. Exactly. I have powerful flatulence.
Silent, but deadly.
That's good shooting.
Did Fran Drescher have any lines in the script, or was it all improv?
This is our secret spot. Nobody knows about it.
Because everything she says feels like random Fran Drescher conversational anecdotes, even down to her like making weird faces as Newbaum commits like a felony and takes pictures of naked women.
Doesn't that stretch your skin out? Oh no, it's circulation. It's great.
Underage naked women.
I like the picture you're painting. Like I think that if there was a script for a lot of this, like you know. It's hard because some of it I'm like, no, this old person didn't think of that line, right? But I think that when they got to certain scenes, it was basically like, you're not happy about the fact that he just came. Like, go.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't believe this. Oh my God, I can't believe he just came. And she just goes, and she's like repeating herself. She's not good at this.
You are so immature.
I am not immature.
Oh
I came. It happens. I'm sorry it happened. It happened.
Why does it happen? Who does it happen to?
It's a real person who's at the end.
By the way, you love her. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I like Fran Drescher in general. I think she's pretty funny.
I like her too.
But like this is a weird, almost like you feel like dirty and guilty at watching this. It's like, oh, this is what Friends made in high school type of a movie. But this is an actual movie that was like theatrical release with a high budget. Like they built that set. Like this is an actual fucking movie, but it doesn't feel like an actual movie in a lot of ways.
I'm having a party at my house. You want to take me?
That's the part that I liked.
I guess that's just the 80s.
Is that it's like weird smut vignettes or something as a weird vibe. Yeah. Let's briefly talk about Tony Danza and Michelle Pfeiffer.
What the hell's the difference, huh?
Tony Danza, who's barely in this movie.
I don't know how famous they were then.
80, wasn't Taxi on in like 76?
A guy can do what he can do, and he can't do what he can't do. So if a guy doesn't do what he can't do, what are you gonna do?
They are in this movie the way famous people are in movies that they're not really in.
I gotta get in there.
Yeah.
We just cut to them a few times, and then eventually, Tony Danza is a part of a plot line that makes no sense that we're going to put a pin in for now. But Michelle Pfeiffer and his thing, like, I don't even know if other characters were there that day, or if they're in the background, or if anything's happening for most of their scenes.
Michelle Pfeiffer interacts with no other main character in the movie,
right? And
Tony Danza barely does. It's the people that are in like the shop, but I don't think he more than once sees the whole group.
No. There is a big coming together where like they were all there.
Yeah, there's at least one.
The box or the IMDb or like the Wikipedia and tries to sell this explicitly and implicitly as like Tony Danza leads this funny ragtag group of like they're in a gang, I guess, but it's the 80s and they're white, so it's a good gang. Gangs are good now.
Well, it's a car
Whatever
club.
It is.
Been like a dad to me.
Yeah, a club, a motorcycle enthusiasts here. We're just having fun while we like attack the police and like rich people. But the point is, Tony Danza is not the lead. Like he might be technically the leader, but he's busy that day. He's not there. He's not doing anything.
I really watched like if you look on the IMDb page, like the director goes on record saying like I told everybody like okay, the script is hot and loose. He's like if you're good, you'll be in the movie more. If you're bad, you won't. And I'm like, does this mean Michelle Pfeiffer and Tony Danza were bad and they cut a lot of their shit out?
I think they were bad at doing what they wanted to happen. And the people that we see a lot of were good at doing the things that they wanted to be in the movie, which are bad things.
Do you think I like all them jerks making wise-ass cracks about my old lady all night?
You don't like it. Look, I'm the one that's got to put up with it.
You know what I mean?
I guess.
Michelle Pfeiffer's not a bad actress. Tony Danza, I think, might be a bad actor. I don't know.
For some pipe dream.
Pipe dream? Talk about a pipe dream. Tell me what acting is.
Tony Danza, I do like him. There's a soft spot for like things he's in, because like a lot of fun things, especially growing up. In the formative years, who's the boss, the garbage kicking, field goal picking Philadelphia phenomenon himself, the Disney original movie, the garbage picking, field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon.
Literally
he plays
no
a
idea what
garbage
that
man who makes it into the NFL as a kicker.
I feel so bad for people's childhoods growing up Well,
No, it's a shitty movie.
What they did to you is unforgivable.
Yeah, I forgot. See, that's what it is. You're there and I'm here. We're in two different places.
But
yes.
I love
you're
Taxi,
like
which I thought happened before this. And like, was
Taxi
he a
seems
boxer
so
in real
old.
life? I feel like he was actually like a professional boxer at some point.
And there is tough Tony Danza.
He's got a knuckle
Am I
game.
wrong about that?
Tony Danza's knuckle game is not to be denied. I have no idea.
I thought like part of the joke on Taxi was like he actually was a boxer and he's playing a boxer.
He's playing a boxer?
He's like.
I thought everybody was a taxi driver.
Well, they all have aspirations and dreams. Some of them do drugs. Some of them are named Latka, and some of them are boxers.
Calling my stupid stuff is stupid stuff. I think he's not. I think your stupid stuff is stupid stuff.
Okay, I've seen a few episodes.
Yeah.
I understand.
But Tony Danza, yes, barely in this movie. He has the coolest car, I'd say, by far. A car that they destroyed filming this movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
You can see in one shot, like the engine starts to smoke when he's racing the two Asian gentlemen.
Oh, Lord.
And that was him like blowing the engine, I believe.
I blacked out during a lot of those scenes about the cars, but like
that was very. A lot of things in this though are reminiscent of other movies. Like that reminded me a lot of Back to the Future.
I was gonna say like Star Wars. Yeah.
Well, yeah. But like here and there's a lot of things where I'm like, oh, that's kind of this. I'm like, oh, did that get from like that idea from this? Did this get that idea from that? Like
this has the and like Americana's not the not not the right word for it.
I think it might be.
It might.
I think it might be.
Because I hate Stand By Me and like you're gonna shoot your eye out, whatever the fuck. I hate. Yeah, that's all garbage. I hate all those movies.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
So like this feels like yes, it is like if not pulling, it's just like the same. It's like made of the same stuff as all those movies are, but it's just a bad like comedy or something. You're talking about the cars though. The cars.
Yeah, the cars are.
There's
awesome.
a whole plot about this crazy car that that they're building, and it dovetails with a plot about alien nation guy, robot jocks guy, who's going to Vietnam.
Vietnam, yeah.
Take care of this till I get back home, huh, kid?
For me? Well, you earned it.
But he's going to Vietnam before the party starts.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
So he's like, they're just sending officers. It's administrative. Nothing's going to happen. But this was made at a time when, like, we know what happens in Vietnam.
Yes.
So it's meant to be this, like, foreboding, looming thing.
Did you not picture there being, like, an ending thing there where it shows a picture of all the people and says what they're doing in 10 years or whatever?
And
it's like, Michelle Pfeiffer did make it, and she's a blah, blah. She's still with Rocky. He's now a professional race car driver. He died in Vietnam.
Oh.
Just, like...
No, but the Vietnam subplot's not a joke, and they say it several times. And that guy, who I now think is not even a bad actor, is in this movie only for these scenes, kind of.
Listen, I'm doing the right thing.
Be careful, huh?
Where
he
they
hype him up weirdly for how little he's in the movie.
Yes,
like
he
that's
gives
such
Dudley
an emotional
his,
big part of the movie.
He gives Dudley his coat, and he like has this emotional scene where he's like bequeathing the car to like the club. Hey guys, I don't want Bay's not gonna know what to do with it. You all guys go, oh of course. They're doing this fucking thing, and I'm like, this is supposed to be something in the movie. There's nothing. There's no resolution. There's no setup. There's no payoff. There's nothing. We just have to imagine this guy dying in Vietnam, and that's supposed to change the movie in some way. Please help me.
I was more hung up on like they all chipped in and bought you this car.
It's a little going away present, Jim. From the Knights and the guys here at the shop, they all chipped in.
What?
How? It's a going away gift. I mean, you can't take it with you, but it's a going away.
We'll send you magazines. You'll be fine. Shut up.
There's playing cards with naked ladies on them.
Hey,
come on.
Trade them for smokes.
Hey, forget about it.
Angela.
Man, the fool ain't got no dick, girl. Get out of here, kid.
To get into the car club, you have to be initiated in, and there's 4 naked men throughout the whole movie. We keep cutting to them and their escapades.
You mean he really was naked and what?
Yeah, that felt Porky's-ish, but not done very well.
I was going to say, this is a horrible part of the movie.
Before I forget, like, racism, a big part of this movie.
Oh, shit, Mommy! Mr. Ku Klux, outside the window! Get my gun! It's Glad here! Get my gun!
Well,
now,
I'm not even planning to talk about the racism.
Well, I don't even mean in the movie. Okay. I mean, like, if you look at the credits for this movie, which are really in a weird order on IMDb and in the actual ending of the thing.
True.
But, like, almost every character is like, it's like black kid, black guy, black woman, black girl.
Yes.
Like, it's just really strange. Like, why is that shouted out in that way? That meant you physically casted, I just need this, that, and this.
No, look, because that's the level, and it's honestly more honest than calling it like like Lamar. You don't know Lamar? It's like no, he's literally playing a black guy. He has no character. So obviously you have to just Knowles from The Thing is in this. He's one of the dudes that goes to The Thing.
TK Cooper.
Yeah, man.
What's up?
We got this dedication, some pledges down the street right there.
And they want this on the radio.
Yeah.
TK Carter.
Yeah. Which you liked from that.
I caught him there singing. He's credited twice, I think.
Oh God.
I think a lot of people were like, what do they credit those? They credit them as like something doo-wop singers.
Yeah. Street performers.
Yeah.
Street performing Negroes. Like it's horrible.
Yeah, no, and it's weird because it's like it's only the 80s. It actually wasn't made in '65.
Yes, exactly.
Like that's what it feels like it was though.
That'll put a hem in your dress. You'll love it.
It's a killer.
Because I don't know who made this, and if like that's their old world view coming in, where it's like
maybe
flying Chinese people or something, whatever he says for
that one doesn't ring a bell.
When they spot the people that they want to race against, he shouts something about how they're blank Chinese, I'm not racist. I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Chinese bandits, 2 o'clock.
But like, yes, I imagine in the credits they are credited as Chinese race guys or something.
Yeah,
like that.
probably.
Because there's no character there. They just it's funny because he's a black guy. Like there's nothing there. It's exactly.
No. And you thought that was gonna be a bigger plot, that race against their car, because like Tony Danza loses, and you're like, oh, but they don't ever actually address it or say he lost.
They sneak up on you.
That Cobra ain't shit anywhere. Hey, came in second.
You like blew my mind when you mentioned, the car was destroyed in like a race, and I'm like, there's racing in this. Like I forgot because it's irrelevant to the plot completely.
When there's a dude with like this crazy rat rod with a big engine and these giant back wheels, and he beats the Chinese car. And like, they don't really celebrate it that much, or even tell people. They just seem to know. They're like, oh, he's like, yeah, he beat him. Woo!
Oh, they cut somewhere else. It's
I don't even know where you ever bought cars like that. Like, this is amazing. I love this time period.
Oh, the pizza chef guys build it for you or something.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck's happening in this thing.
But so there's these pledges, and they're on this trip. They have to go and request a song from this radio station thing, which is like just on the pier, like right there, which is cool. I think that's how things used to be.
But Dr. J, all right. KBLA and Surf Sam getting up, making way for...
It was like cool, looking on people until they started like shooting people or something. But they need to request a song and be back with these tires and no clothes by 2 a.m.
They left us 4 spare tires. We got to get back to Hollywood by 2 o'clock. It's an initiation.
2 a.m., I guess the closing time of Tubby's for the last time. Tubby's pretty cool. I like that kind of thing. That's like a Sonic, I guess, by us.
I was gonna say it's like a drive-in food place.
From the desert to the sea, soulfully.
Yeah, drive-in means something different then. Like to me, I'm like, oh, drive-in, like a theater,
must be
not
a
like a
movie.
drive-in food place.
No, you used to be able to drive in anywhere.
Yeah. They built that is an actual working thing. It was a closed down A&W place, and they made it into Tubby's, and it's like off this strip somewhere, but like it's an actual place, so like it's right there. People would pull in trying to get burgers while they're filming this movie.
They're like, get the fuck out.
Like, it's a movie, we're not doing anything. They're like, you have a sign that says 8-cent burgers. We want 8-cent burgers. Like, that was 65, you bitch. Get out of here.
You're either an extra or you're trespassing. Get out. No, it's and like it is the last night, and on the radio they say they're shutting it down. So I'm expecting these old white people who run the world that they keep cutting to something to happen, and we're gonna save Tubby's.
Yeah, like a bet or something.
There's nothing. There's the cops.
Which is almost
nothing.
Nice that nothing happens, because that's real. Like there is no save the rec center fucking thing. There is life moves on. You die in Vietnam. That's how shit goes.
Those Hollywood nights.
But that's not the tone of the movie. The movie's nothing. And
but that's, I think, what's so unexpected and nice about it was there wasn't like Newbaum doesn't like he tricks the cop into shooting the governor and then he gets a stay of execution. Like, no, it doesn't happen.
I'll make you a deal, governor. We're gonna save Tubby's, and they jump up at the end and they freeze frame in air, and then the movie ends.
You'd think if I'm rewriting this right now, what it would be is the whole movie you have like the lead white guy in charge. His wife is having an affair with some dude.
Jack, oh my, look at Rob.
The strangest thing just happened.
And you think it would be like, oh, they'll get pictures of them having an affair. We know he takes pictures of people doing it. He'll blackmail them and they'll save Tubby's.
There's a running thing where they're trying to have sex in like the back of a car.
Don't worry about anything.
I'm not.
Don't worry.
I don't even care anymore.
Oh.
Dudley keeps coming in to interrupt them, and it's supposed to be this running funny gag or whatever, and the chick's like, Dudley, leave!
Sorry, Dudley!
this
Yeah.
stuff. And yes, at the end they get caught, and like the other dudes are there, but they're just like, haha, got him.
Ah, you assholes!
They don't. There's
Yeah.
nothing. Nothing happens.
No, they're just mooning people constantly.
Yeah.
Big white asses.
A lot of hairy white asses.
Yeah. It was
Just
time for that.
in full view. Yeah. it's
Hey,
the
you gotta
thing.
do it.
Yeah,
They had a
of its
piece
time.
of what was their marketing? So we had just one big step for man on the moon or something, and theirs was it was something.
Oh.
Landing a man on the moon was like landed the first man on the moon, and their marketing was like the first mooning on land or something like that. Yeah, they flipped it. Some fucking stupid
the most
shit.
mooning on land.
The question I had in this movie was, more than once, eggs just fly in from off scene.
El Camino Silver Tray. Now what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And you don't ever see who did them and how they're going. At some point, it's like our main characters are like face down being arrested and eggs flying. I'm like,
Just got some punks out here and that's it.
who threw that?
Because it is filmed in a way where whoever's supposed to be throwing the eggs are not even there.
No.
So you can't show them throwing the eggs, or running away, or holding an egg carton, or anything, right?
To my point, like earlier about how like the scenes don't connect properly.
Yeah.
There goes from like a scene where like you hear like Nubam Turk is the one that threw an egg.
English guy, he came to fight the Turkish.
At this one point, and then in the next scene, he's somewhere else.
Let's show him how proud we are of it. Let's get him up here. Dudley, we're very...
And you're like often they are like going from positions where the cops are like, oh, we got you, you idiot.
Okay, asshole, pull this yellow piece of shit around the corner here. You got me? Hear that? Move it!
To then like they're at the Tubbies again.
Just don't slam the door, okay? You're gonna spill my milk.
And the cop's just like, oh, I'm eating a hamburger.
I've never seen anybody as asleep at the wheel as you two have been tonight. Now wake up!
No, like if you were trying to honestly, earnestly watch this, you'd be like, is this a flashback?
Yeah.
Is this from a different day? Is this like a different thing now? Because they're in the tree, right? And he's filming them kind of like...
Oh my God!
Well, we got
Yeah.
you, but it's...
And then there's no resolution to that whatsoever.
These squirrels better have some nuts in your mouth, or you're going downtown.
It feels like the clip show highlights at the end of a season of a show.
Yes. No,
right?
that
It
is
feels
very
like-
accurate.
It feels like it's trying to like destroy you mentally.
But
You love this movie.
I definitely don't love the movie. I enjoyed it for a point of nostalgia, to an era that I'm not familiar with, but a time that I liked, but not a movie I think I would ever watch again.
Okay.
I don't think it has any rewatchability to it, like
ringing
whatsoever.
endorsement.
I do think there's something here. Like it's fun enough to like watch once if you're a fan of like the Animal Houses, the Porkies, the Meatballs, like those type of things. Like,
I really want to
it
talk
has
to someone.
things like that in it.
Yeah.
They don't hit most of what they're aiming for, but a lot of people have a lot lower standards than we do, so I think this could definitely be a hit for a lot of people.
Yeah, I was just saying, I want to talk to someone who like this is one of their favorite movies.
It has a pretty decent following because it played on HBO a lot.
They're like, I rewatch this every Halloween. This is my favorite Halloween movie.
Hey, Riding Hood, want to be eaten by the big bad wolf?
Fuck you, new bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine that person? Oh my God. They should be on lists.
It so loosely has anything to do with Halloween at all, too.
Yes. And it pays lip service to all those things of like the old people, and it's like, oh, this is outrageous and all that crap. But it's like it doesn't not as well as any of those other films do.
An interesting thing though that I did learn about this movie was it ran they filmed it in less time than they originally scheduled to, but the filming got pushed back, so it was cold when they were filming this. And they said they would put ice cubes in the actors' mouth before scenes started so their breath wouldn't show. And I'm like, that's some fucking I'm a sniper enemy at the gates shit.
Slowly, I put snow in my mouth. Then he won't see my breath.
I'm down.
That meme with the two with like the like predator arms, like models who are anorexic, snipers trying not to have so they're eating ice chips. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. What is it? This? Yeah. New Bomb Turk.
Something you definitely can't argue about was the soundtrack was awesome on this movie. It had like a really good soundtrack.
Or like songs.
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean those songs, yeah.
But like I can't imagine how expensive those songs must have been.
Back then, everything was...
Maybe it was. Maybe just the time period songs were free. They're like, put movies in there. Like, yeah. But it seems like the kind of thing that would be like, oh yeah, that's in the movie, and then like when you get it pressed to DVD later on, they're like, oh, we had to change the song.
They don't do that either anymore. It's all grand. Yeah. They were like a part of the catalog or something. One man owned everything.
That could be true, too.
He just did everything. I forget it because, yeah, like a lot of movies made in or like about these time periods just have the music from the time period as like a thing. You're like, okay. Like,
there's a lot of songs here, and like they all, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, because the DJ would say, it would like cut to the DJ and be like, hey, everybody, little lovers out there, we're going to do blah, 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 and we go. And then like an actual song would play.
On Halloween night, 1965, for lovers only.
Well, you're like,
the 60s were a cooler time, too, where like you didn't have... Like, you could have your tough guy with his rolled up sleeve and like a fucking like cigarettes in there as like he like hits a jukebox and the girl comes on and it'll be like doo-wop, doo-wop, doo-wop. Like they weren't like oh no, I need manly whatever. It's like they're like at one point like, oh, this is my jam, and it's just like some like like female singing thing.
Bang 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 bang
well,
bang. It's like that shit, and you're like, okay.
I love you like I do.
No, literally, like the band that plays at the place where they crash it to do the dick violin thing or whatever is like that type of band almost.
Single guy
right? It's like those weird...
I wondered if that was a band or if that was someone who that was their talent.
Yeah.
I couldn't decide because the next person, there was another act that was singing, and I'm like, well, is this the next band or is that her talent? I'm like, they're pretty good, but they couldn't have to pay? I don't know. And then I found out it was nepotism. Like, the girl singer there is, like, the producer's daughter or something.
This was the launch of her career. You don't know?
She became a producer herself, so
that's Lana Del Rey, yeah.
I love you, I do.
Most awkward moment in the movie? Spiking the punch.
Yeah, of course you are. Is that the punch? Uh-huh.
Yeah. Tyler Durden style.
Just a group of 5 dudes looking each other in the eyes as they piss in a fucking punch bowl.
Gentlemen, let's spike the punch.
I wasn't paying attention apparently during that part. Okay.
Very awkward.
So like 5 Tyler Durdens.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that again is meant to be so funny because it's like, here, taste this. Got a little wang to it.
Does have a little wang in it. Good though.
But it's good. Can I have some?
But that's like a rip-off scene, or I should say Van Wilder ripped that scene off, because you have the girl who goes, I've had this in my mouth before.
I've had this taste in my mouth before.
And then in Van Wilder's like, tastes like something I've had before. Like, it's semen then, but it's the same thing.
No, but that's
dog semen, actually.
That's not a joke you can steal.
They did.
That's just, that joke's been around since there was anything to drink. That's like...
I suppose.
Cavemen were like grunting that joke. That joke is chiseled onto a wall next to a wildebeest.
Think cavemen were peeing in punch?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably more often than not.
Tricking people in, well, like, at first punch was just piss. So they had to evolve into adding...
And to spike it, somebody else would piss in your piss?
Yeah, if we put fruit into this and mash it up, it tastes better than piss. And they kept slowly, like evolving. But yeah, tricking someone into drinking something bad and then like the joke being, they're actually like, this is interesting, this is good, what is this? And you're like, that's hilarious. Like, that's been funny
that's
forever.
That's an untrademarkable joke.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the fact of like the statement of like, I've had this before, when it's something that you shouldn't have had before.
That's the joke.
There's a lot of like those little errors of things in this movie where I'm like, you didn't do it well, but later on someone will step on the heads of giants and make this much better.
No one took this and said, they've created new jokes that we need to mine. Rare jokes. I have to patent and NFT these
like
jokes.
Like anything else you watch and it worms its way in your head and you think how I can make this better or subconsciously do that or this.
It's like a part of a big thing that's happening and gets expressed in all these different movies. Yeah. This is perhaps an earlier but certainly worse expression of the same idea that was marching along.
But like,
it's fine.
I wonder a lot in these things when I look at older stuff, like, because yes, we're going to say it's worse because things are better, been perfected, this and that. But when it was when you're the new kid on the block, like this may have been the first time that joke was played. I don't know.
It may have been the first time that it was committed to film, but it was not the first time someone's joke was like, oh, you like that, Grandma? Haha, it's full of my semen. Like, that's hard.
Again, I'm not saying the part that you're laughing at someone consuming something they shouldn't be consuming. It's the I've tasted this before.
Yes, but that's just one of 100 things you could say to indicate that you're like, this is actually acceptable. You tried to trick me into drinking something bad, but I like this dog shit. And it's like, yes, it's one joke. I'm just saying it's a thing.
It is one in a pyramid of jokes that like are on that same thing now.
A joke cluster.
But my statement being that I wonder, like, this was popular, so it had to have been popular for some reason, and to us, not as good because we are seeing the things that are so much better than this. But I think it's like when you see modern bodybuilders compared to like large triangular weights, like that's a little shrimp bitch pussy. And then nowadays it's like, the 12-year-old can beat them.
I understand the concept. Yeah. I've understood it from the very beginning.
I think
I'm just saying, I can't prove it either way. I don't think you can.
No, obviously I can't prove it.
I just doubt that this
I just
had
have
such a
to
huge,
make some sort of
impact.
rationale as to why it was popular.
Okay, good.
You make me nauseous.
High school girls. I should have known better.
Well, okay, I thought you were going to say, I have to rationalize the fact that I like this movie so much.
No, I don't even like it that much. I like older things in general just because I'm like, I haven't seen this before. Let me see what that is.
New to me.
And like the car collection definitely stood out, and at the time was the largest car collection like in film, like of this kind of cars.
I have forgotten every car. I thought most.
There's so many these crazy like rat rod looking awesome things.
I thought most of the cars in here looked weird and/or ugly.
It was a time period thing.
I know. I'm not into.
Yeah.
I don't like I don't like cars, and I don't know the breeds of cars, so I can't tell them apart. Whatever.
Yeah. I wonder how they even do those things. They probably have to like contact car clubs and like collectors and be like, hey, can we please borrow your fucking car? Because like I don't think studios just own thousands of old school
they
cars.
call Jay Leno or Seinfeld.
Yeah, Jay Leno.
And he says, okay, here you go. I'll give you this car for a
In the 80s, he only had half as many cars as he has now. He was busy making movies with Pat Morita.
I'm the only guy from Japan that doesn't know karate.
Buddy cop comedy.
Did you catch, how does Dudley and when does he flip? Was there a scene? Because the second time they disrobe him, he's like, good luck out there or whatever.
I hope you win the contest.
Oh, thanks, Doug. That's sweet.
But like, is there a clear point where something happens on camera?
The big flip for him, which I think it happens almost out of the blue, though, is when he fakes a seizure to let them get away.
Yeah, but why does he do that? Do they say, or does it show
It seemed like subtly he was getting onto their side more. Because like even that second time that he got pulled over, he's saying, good luck. Like I think it's that he's a man who doesn't have friends.
Dudley, are you okay?
Oh, yes.
So like even to be like the butt of their joke,
I'm actually a part of this.
I am a part of this, and then it totally paid off for him because he then becomes a member without having to do any of the embarrassing bullshit.
That's how you do it. His whole life was embarrassing bullshit.
Kinda.
No, I just making sure that I didn't miss something, or I'm like, wait,
I don't
when did
think
this
so.
happen?
Again,
When
I
did
think
this
a lot
go?
of this is just a string of ideas that somebody had, and like maybe there once upon a time was a through line for all of this. But again, if it didn't seem funny enough, they hacked the shit out of it and just didn't put it in the movie.
Didn't seem like they were stretching for length, though. It seemed like whatever.
No, I think they were. I think they were stretching for goodness.
Cramming for length.
I think they had more than enough stuff because I think this was scheduled to be a 35-day shoot or something, and he like knocked it out in 27. He's like, we're done. We're good. He's like, I know what we're doing.
And they shot for 90 days.
He said himself, he's like, I don't do these 100 takes. I do 3 takes. If they don't have it, it's not going in. And I'm like, oh.
Which is perfect.
Yeah, it makes so much sense.
Well, yeah, but that very clearly makes the point that like, even if we needed this to get from one place to another, it's not in because it wasn't good.
Who cares?
That's hilarious.
And I think that's a big part of like knowing your audience. And like you could work on something forever, and like it'll never be the best it could be. But at a certain point, if you're like I can work on this, you have 10 days to do it. Okay, we're gonna do it in 10 days, and that's gonna be how good it can be. And if you know, I'm just selling this like boner comedy, like people won't care, and they don't.
Right, like we could keep recording this video forever, or we could just like stop.
Yeah, it's like you saw we had boobs, right? No, we're done.
Cut when I say the word stop.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.